Hi, this is Kimberly. Today's video is episode 10. It's Friday, July 12, 2019, day 3 of the Jennifer and Joseph Rosenbaum trial, also known as the Days of Our Lives. I'll save you the details of how long I spent researching and looking for the testimony of the first witness that I'm showing to you today. The only place I could find it was from Law and Crime, and it starts after the woman had been sworn in. The sound's terrible and the camera is shaky. By cutting out a handful of Eddie Munster's ums, I was able to relieve some of the pain. I'm talking about Eddie Chase from the prosecution. He has a very bad problem. This first witness you will see is a woman in the middle of her testimony, and I could not find her name anywhere. I have been utilizing the Atlanta news station 11 Alive for the taped trial proceedings, but they apparently were tardy for the party on this day after lunch and came back late and missed a chunk of testimony. So I used footage from Law and Crime. They too got a late start apparently, but sooner than 11 Alive. It's of very poor quality. Please don't check out because of that. At least they had some film of this witness, even though it's not her full testimony. From what I could gather, this woman was a transporter for DFCS, which is the Department of Family and Children's Services. Millie was driven to Children's Hospital by this lady the day after Laila died, apparently to be checked out. She took Millie to the bathroom upon arrival, and she discovered she had bruising. I know she had some on her back, I don't know where else. It's only a very brief, maybe 3 minutes. When I cut out all the ums and stuff, this is what was left over. After that, we have a woman named Larita Brown. She was a wonderful foster mom to Laila and Millie. She's been a foster parent for over 15 years at the time of this trial. And I was irritated to say the least. I mean, pissed the fuck off, actually, since I couldn't hear her clearly. The sound quality, although better than the first witness, it sucks. It's not as good as it. I got spoiled by the McNabb and Bell trial. They had professional sound, professional filming. Miss Larita Brown appears to be a lovely woman. She appears to be straightforward and honest. I could tell she was just giving the jury facts and not trying to persuade them in any way. That's not often the case in witness evidence, in my experience. When Pitmull tried to paint her in a negative light, she did come out defensive. At times I wasn't sure how to handle it. It seemed like she was protesting too much at a couple of accusations. I don't know, but when you watch today's court proceedings, you'll see what I mean. During her testimony, she kind of threw Samantha White under the bus. Miss White is the caseworker for Millie and Laila. She's not testified yet. And I do know those caseworkers have way too many cases. They are overloaded, and it's a whole big thing in Georgia. Another lawsuit came about because of this and defects. You'll see as the proceedings go on. But, throwing her under the bus, Samantha White, she didn't have a choice. She was only stating the facts. For example, I got it from a 3-year-old. Miss Brown kept trying to get information about the doctors and other things, and Miss White would not call her back or text her or anything, so Millie was quite helpful to Miss Brown. She gave her the doctor's name, and Miss Brown looked it up, and she was right. Yeah, she just couldn't get certain questions answered from defects, so Millie told her. And I'm kind of like a celebrity, as I've met Dr. Potts before. He testified earlier. And I took my grandlady to see him once for her well baby check. This was years and years and years ago. She got her shots, and he really is a genteel man, a gentleman, old school. I like that. And he loves children and babies. But it just chaps my ass that Laila and Millie were taken from Mrs. Brown. They were taken from several capable, loving, and caring people. They were safe, happy, secure, healthy, both emotionally and physically healthy, inside of her loving home. where no one is mean. There is genuine caring and doting attention from the mom as well as her daughters. Laila and Millie had those kinds of big sisters that girls like me dream of. Oh, how I wanted a big sister. So badly. I would have taken a younger one, too. It was hard being the only girl. 2 older brothers, and don't get me started. Anyway, Larita Brown has raised and continues to raise children who will grow up to be happy, emotionally stable, and confident people if given enough time with her. It just breaks my heart that removing them from her home was allowed to happen. Shit like this continues to happen in the DFCS system or the CPS, whatever you want to call it, all because people like the 𝐬𝐻s prioritize their own selfish demands and desires over everyone else's. 𝐬𝐻, that's my nickname when I'm talking about both Jennifer and Joseph. But 𝐬𝐻 was adamant about not doing the right thing, about not following the proper channels and procedures for having children placed in your home. 𝐬𝐻 didn't want to do the right thing. Jennifer did not want to wait her turn. As you see more and more of this trial, you'll be outraged beyond belief. Oh my God. I already have been, but it gets worse, people. As a refresher, the 𝐬𝐻s were charged with murder, aggravated assault, 2 counts of first-degree cruelty to children, and 1 count of second-degree cruelty to children. All of this in connection with the death of Laila Daniel, a 2-year-old foster child, a baby, in the 𝐬𝐻s' care. Laila's 4-year-old sister Millie had also been abused by them. Millie was 4 at the time and claimed Jennifer Rosenbaum hit her, and according to the warrant, Jennifer, quote, makes her state that she fell down if anyone asked her about the injuries, end quote. Joseph Rosenbaum was also accused of striking both girls, probably at the direction of Jennifer. Just saying, he looks like a real wuss and does everything she tells him to do. The autopsy showed, quote, severe bruising on the child's back, face, legs, and abdomen, and breaks of her arms and legs. Laila was, quote, injured about her body in its entirety, end quote. Rosenbaum also, quote, failed to feed the child in quantities necessary to sustain an adequate body weight, end quote. She was starving and beating her with such force as to split her pancreas, police said. Little Laila Marie had broken bones in her arms and legs and bruises all over her body when she died. Laila died Tuesday, November 17, 2015, which also happened to be Jennifer Rosenbaum's 27th birthday. Jennifer was also once a foster kid herself, at one point living in the same foster home as Tessa Daniel, who is Millie and Laila's mother, who said that she barely remembered that witch. 𝐬𝐻 stayed in foster care until she aged out of it at 18. No one wanted her. She went on to be an overachiever. She was a U.S. Army National Guard veteran, military police officer, and she was an Emory Law School student at the time of Laila's death. And she had just announced her candidacy for Henry County's Commission District 1 when all this shit hit the fan. I do have a video of her yucking it up at the commission meetings. She loved to go up there and be a pain in their ass and challenge them. Noises in the courtroom. The sorry-ass film crews leave something to be desired on this trial day. I have 2 to choose from. 11 Alive, an Atlanta news station, and the Law and Crime Network. 11 Alive totally missed the first witness when they got back from lunch break, or I'll say when they arrived late from lunch break. Law and Crime got 3 minutes of an unknown witness testimony after lunch, and from what I gathered, she transported Millie to Children's Hospital to be examined the day after Laila's death. The sound quality is atrocious from both sources. I do apologize. I can barely hear Mrs. Brown, but I get excellent audio from someone clicking away on their fucking laptop. I thought little Caden Lindstrom wore me out with his damn noises, but the damn person tapping on the fucking laptop is just begging to be given a Will Smith-style slap across their fugly face by me. I really am in the mood to slap someone. Just bitch slap them, you know? Some of these so-called grown adults in the courtroom were rivaling Caden Lindstrom with their rude and unnecessary racket that they were putting and spewing forth. Not quite certain, but I swear someone was playing with a fucking Tonka truck. Joseph Rosenbaum, perhaps. He seems like a little boy. Wonder if he had his parents' permission to marry Jennifer. But there was this crazy keyboard clicking. I want to know who this person is so I can give them a piece of my mind. Also the fucking camera person. I hope they listen to this over there at 11 Alive. Get your shit together. You know, I can almost guarantee that the annoying person exaggeratedly tapping away is that witch from Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the newspaper in Atlanta, that nearly caused a goddamn mistrial. Oops, I said a bad word. I meant to just say mistrial. You'll hear about it later on. I just wanted to go down to the courthouse and smack that bitch upside the head. It's not far from my house. I could have. Here, I'll link a video about this. Judge Amaro had to restrain himself. I mean, I was like, oh, he's going to blow. But that lady, she's a fucking annoying, self-centered bitch, just like 𝐬𝐻. She did not even stand when the judge was politely going off on her. Some people have no fucking couth, I swear to God. Mr. Kimberley just popped his head in here to see if I was okay. He heard me hollering. He was just trying to figure out if I had slammed off to bed or something. As a courtesy to you, I took away quite a few coughs in the courtroom. Although there were some I just could not, as you would also miss the spoken word or words by the person on the witness stand. Why, oh why, does the person coughing always sit by the fucking mic and not have enough common sense to go out and have some water? Get the fuck out of there with your disgusting phlegmy cough. It's disgusting. It's nauseating. Some people should use a glue stick instead of a chapstick. You know what I'm saying? And 𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐞, the prosecuting attorney, 𝐬𝐻's ums were out of control. I didn't like her doing that. She was so articulate during her opening arguments. I don't recall the ums at that time, because she was on it, you know. I'm so very disappointed in Miss Young. Then Pitmull. She'll pause for 20 seconds. She'll talk, pause for 20 seconds, bumbles through papers and photos. I mean, isn't Jennifer supposed to be her assistant and have all that shit in order? But then she'll pause again for 20 seconds, fumble through papers and photos again, and then say, now. And then she pauses again for a full 15 seconds. I've spared you from as much of that nonsense, or rather horseshit, as possible. And there was this weird high-pitched sound in the courtroom. You know what it sounds like when new basketball sneakers were being worn on a freshly polished school hallway floor, and the kid was just being annoying and you know, smacking their feet so it would just screech some more. Anyway, that. And stapling papers. It's always got somebody with the stapler. Click. And then they shuffle the papers. Click, click. Shuffle. Click, click. The clicking of the stapler and the clicking of the typing. It was so annoying. I was about to have a fucking seizure that would have culminated into a stroke. What I'm trying to say is, I took out the drawn-out pauses and those annoying non-words, such as and things of that nature. So what is left is one continuous stream of questions and answers. That's what we're here for. Not all that side, you know, shit, bullshit, horse shit. I also wish the inexperienced camera operator will switch seats. Bitch, we can't see the person on the stand. The court reporter is blocking the individual on the witness stand about half the time. And I'm trying to read lips because the sound's so bad. It's a challenge, but I'm going to complete this project of doing the entire trial, just as I did with Chris McNabb and Cortney Bell and their As the Trailer Park Wheels Turn or something like that. I'll have to look. I forgot it, but when I was gone, people started watching that. They were watching some of my older videos and they got hooked on the trial. Believe me, if you start watching the trial, you'll get hooked on it. Same with this one. So, now, let's get on to the witness testimony, shall we? I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's a sunny Sunday afternoon here, and I'm in here at the computer instead of outside cleaning up my flower garden. At least I'm doing something. I'm not procrastinating today. Have a wonderful week. Much love and peace. And as always, thank you for listening.
What's your name?
Millie.
Millie, do you know why you're here today?
To talk about stuff.
Did Jennifer ever talk loud?
Yes, because she was mad. A lot of things.
Do you remember back then telling people that Jennifer was nice to you?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
Did you all like playing on the bunk beds?
Yes.
Did you jump on the bunk beds?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Do you remember Jennifer telling you not to jump on the beds?
No.
She told you it was okay to jump on the beds? Did she tell you it was all right to jump on the beds?
No.
No, okay.
Let me ask you this. What would Jennifer get mad at Laila about?
I know that she got mad at her for a lot of things, but I don't really know what they were.
Okay.
Not getting dressed fast enough. I would get a spanking on my butt, her hand,
Would Jennifer use anything else to give you spankings?
a belt,
On what part of Laila's body did she get spankings?
same place.
What would happen if you slept in the car?
We would get a spanking. It hurt.
Were your clothes on or off or something else?
Sometimes they were on, sometimes they were off.
When Laila got spankings, would the belt sometimes touch her skin?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately what time period you did this?
I do not. I know that it was probably morning. A morning before hearing.
And then time of the year?
No.
Had you ever met Ms. Rosenbaum prior to that meeting?
No.
Had you ever seen her in the courthouse?
Looks familiar. Dressed appropriately, had an ID badge, something professional.
And you claim that she came into the office?
The DFCS office, yes, at the juvenile court.
And were you the only person in there that you recall?
What I can recall, yes.
And what specifically did she ask you?
Something in regards to getting some information for the case manager, saying that she possibly was trying to get in contact with the case manager.
Did she indicate for which children?
She had to have, for me to get her information and to give it to Samantha White. There are many children in care, there's many court hearings going on, and there's apparently many case managers there at a time.
Okay. And you mentioned the person Samantha White. What role did Samantha White have in the supervision of Millie and Laila?
She was their actual foster care case manager.
And did you give any information to Ms. Rosenbaum, or did you get any information from Ms. Rosenbaum?
I got information from her, I got her name and number, and I told her that I would give it to the case manager, and she would be in contact.
Okay. Did you have any other interactions with Ms. Rosenbaum?
No.
You said that you recalled 2 interactions with Millie and Laila. What was the second?
Second interaction was the day possibly after the sister had died. I took her to the hospital.
And when you say her, which child are you referring to you took to the hospital?
The sister that was still alive.
Okay, so Millie Place.
Yes.
And you said you took her to the hospital. What hospital did you take her to?
In my mind, Chella,
And when you say hospital, what are you referring to?
Children's Health Care Plan.
Okay. Did you observe anything on Millie Place that day that you were interacting?
Prior to actually taking her to the hospital, she wanted to use the restroom, so I took her into the bathroom and I helped her put on her pants.
Okay. And when you did that, what did you observe?
Bruises.
They appeared to be significant.
Yes.
What did you do when you saw those bruises?
Contacted my administration right away.
And what response did you get?
I asked if I needed to document, take pictures, or do anything. They said that they had already taken documentation, taken pictures.
After that, you said you brought her to Children's Health Care, correct?
Yes.
Did you have any conversations with Millie Place while you were transporting her to Children's Health Care?
Of course.
Was the conversation having anything to do with the incidents that occurred the day before?
No.
Did it have anything to do with any abuse-related topics?
No.
Did you have any further involvement in the care of these two children?
No.
Nothing further this time.
No questions. Thank you, ma'am. You can step down and your excuse.
Thank you.
Take a call, next witness.
They call Larita Brown.
Larita Brown.
Please go ahead and have a seat. Please state and spell your first and last name.
Larita Brown, 𝐿𝐢𝐼𝐿𝐢𝐴 BROWN.
Good afternoon, Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown, in 2015, were you a foster parent?
Yes, I was.
And how long have you been a foster parent?
15 years.
And what county are you a foster parent in?
Henry County.
And for those 15 years, have you always been a foster parent with Henry County?
I started in 2014 with Henry County.
And as a foster parent, did you have to go through any process and procedures to become a foster parent?
Yes.
And tell me about those procedures that you went through to become a foster parent.
I think it was 6 weeks, 6 weeks training. We had to go to CPR training.
I'm an educated person, I understand this.
They have to do a background check on everybody in your family, drug screen, have to do a home study. I think the lady will come down about 3 times before they can approve your home, even though I came from another state.
Were you a foster parent in another state?
Yes, I was.
Okay, what state was that?
Memphis, Tennessee.
And after you went through all of the process, is that when you became certified as a foster parent?
Yes.
In Henry County?
Yes.
And did you have children placed in your home as a result of that?
Yes.
Over the course of your start, since you've been in Henry County since 2014, how many kids have you had placed in your home, if you can recall?
About 50 and 60.
And if you could just explain the process in which a child would become placed into your home.
The process? They would, the caseworker or the, not the caseworker, but whoever the CPS worker or whatever, they'll just call and see if we, see if we have room or, would I be willing to take, certain kids. So it didn't matter race, color to me, so any child I take in.
And when you would get a call about taking a child, what would be the next process if you agreed to take that child? They would bring them to the house or I go pick them up. And you go to the office and they're supposed to give you a letter, say since they got sick, I have a letter showing that I have the guardianship over the child. Were there other things that you had to do once you got that letter of guardianship, once the children are placed with you?
72 hours, we're supposed to take them to the doctor.
Anything else that you were required to do once the child came into your care?
Take care of them.
And when you would take them to the doctor, what method would you use in order to make payments if you had to make payments?
They have Medicaid.
And would you be provided with that information?
Sometimes you don't get it right off, especially on weekends when you don't get it right off. But they will, on that sheet that they give you, the Medicaid number is on there and their birthday.
In 2015, did you have occasion to have 2 children by the name of Millie Place and Laila Daniel placed in your home?
Yes.
Do you recall when in 2015 that occurred?
April 17, 2015.
And can you explain to us the circumstances in which they got placed in your home? Talk about maybe someone dropped them off, picked them up. What happened that you knew that you would be getting Millie Place and Laila Daniel?
When I got there, I don't know what her position is. They were just telling me the grandmother couldn't keep the kids where she was living, and so they had to be put in foster care.
And did they give you any more information about the children, the background, or history at that time?
No, they didn't.
And did you go somewhere to pick up the girl, or were they dropped off to you?
I went to 𝐬𝐢𝐿𝐢 County DFCS.
And
At the time, you said that was on April 17th of 2015. Were you assigned a caseworker at that time?
No.
At some point, did you have a caseworker assigned?
Yes, and I think that one quit, and then there was another one, Miss White.
And when you have a caseworker assigned to your case, kind of explain what they would do, the caseworker that's assigned to the case.
Well, they supposed to give me more, like information about the child. And they would make sure and within a 72 hours, take them to the doctor and everything. But they supposed to give me information on each child. So I would know, know something about the child.
Did you get that information on Millie Place or Laila Daniel?
I would it was a Friday, probably got it that Wednesday or Thursday.
And when you said information, what type of information did you receive?
That's the letter, the placement letter.
At any time did you meet Samantha White?
I met her, I got the kids in April. I only met her in May.
And where did you meet Ms. White?
She came to my house.
And when a caseworker comes to your house, what is the purpose of that, what is the process that occurs when a caseworker comes out to your house?
Any child 5 and under, we supposed to undress them so they can see, see their body or whatever. And they ask the kids questions and, see how they like to get there and everything.
And I'm gonna back up. On April the 17th, when you got Millie Place and Laila Daniel, did you examine them at all?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Why did you examine them?
I do that with all my kids to make sure they don't have any bumps and bruises on them when they come in.
And did you find any bumps and bruises on Millie or Laila on April 17th?
No, ma'am, not at all.
And you said about a month later in May, that's when Ms. White came.
Yes, when I started asking about the birth certificate.
And when Ms. White came out to your home, what happened?
She just was asking us questions and talking to me and my family. She asked to see Millie and Laila. Laila stayed in my daughter's arms, so she didn't ask, remove her clothes or nothing. She just, Laila wouldn't go with her, and Millie still was staying with my other daughter. So she really just asked questions and then stayed on. She left.
Did she ever do an exam of Millie?
No.
What about Laila?
No.
And you indicated that you have 72 hours to take the girls to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And did you do that?
Yes, I took them to, I had makeup, I found out who their doctor was, but Millie told me the doctor's name. And I forgot who I had to ask somebody, I think I found to ask one of the caseworker, somebody else that's there, what doctor, can you look and see what doctor they went to, and showed up it was that Dr. Potts. So I had to make an appointment with Dr. Potts before I could transfer them to 𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐴ND pediatric Dr. 𝐬𝐢𝐽.
Did you take them to Dr. Potts?
Yes, I did.
And when you went to Dr. Potts, did they have a checkup?
Yes, he checked them. I'm not mistaken, I think Millie had a cold. She had a cold and everything, so I just took both of them to be seen so I can make sure they shots and everything was updated.
And when you went to that visit, you paid for that doctor's visit?
Maybe paid for it.
And did you provide a card or a number, or what did you provide in regards to that, if anything?
Well, the number was on that placement letter. I had to show them a placement letter before I can, to show I had guardianship over to even bring the children.
And then did you take them anywhere else after they arrived in your home?
When it was time to go again, I think it was like probably May or so. I had to take them to Dr. Weir because I think Laila was behind those shots or something. So I had to take them to Dr. Weir. Then I think Millie was on loan to the dentist because most dentists don't see children until they're 3 years old. So they did go to the dentist.
And how old was Laila when she came to you?
1,
And Millie was how old?
3, almost 4.
Besides taking them to Dr. Potts and Dr. Lear, did you take them anywhere else?
How about Dr. Wise?
Dr. Wise.
I don't think that was anything.
Do you recall April 30th, 2015?
That's when they went to Dr. Potts.
And I'm going to show you.
It was the 3rd of the 20th. And I did take it for a week appointment.
And where is that with the appointment?
𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐻 Health Department.
Do you recall what day that was?
That should have been like April the 29th, the 30th.
So I'm showing you this in Mark the States Exhibit 111 and 112. Do you recognize States 111 and 112?
Yes.
And what is that?
That's a week appointment. you know, before they leave the week voucher, the nurse to check the kids over and everything. So it's like they wait, they check the iron and, you know, they weight, height, and see what kind of, you know, like if she was lactose intolerant, something, she found out what kind of milk she was on, you know, but she was drinking regular milk.
That 111 and 112, do you recognize those forms?
Yes.
And how are you able to recognize them?
I took her there and I filled it out.
And is that, have you done that in the process with other foster
Yes.
kids? And the information that is provided in that form, is that provided, who is that provided by?
The Henry County Week.
Do you fill it out yourself or are they
Yes.
filling it out for you?
No, I filled it out.
Okay. And who did you fill out those forms for?
Let's see.
States
But-
number 111, who is that?
Millie, this is Laila. This is for Laila, and this is for Millie.
And states number 112
No,
is
for
for
Millie.
Millie. I'd ask the states 111 and 112 be admitted into evidence.
Admitted states 111 and 112.
And if you can look behind you, Ms. Brown. On the top of the form, what type of information are they asking you about?
What kind of medicine they were taking?
And then I'm going to direct your attention to number 5. What is that section asking about?
How your child eats each food?
And do you check off the information that what she eats?
Yes.
Okay, and this was in regards to Laila Daniel, states 111. And then section number 6. What are they asking you about there?
What kind of milk she drank, water, and fruit juice?
Did you ever, see you checked off, what did you check off? Fruit juice, water, and milk?
Yes.
When you say fruit juice, what type of juice would you give them?
She can drink fruit punch, orange juice, apple juice, grape juice. She did love juice.
When you would, in particular, when you would give her orange juice, did you ever notice did she have any reaction to that?
No.
Did you ever see her break out in hives or a rash at all?
No.
And I'm going to move down to section number 14. What are they asking me about?
Does your child eat meals provided by the child care center or at school?
And what was your answer to that?
No.
And why did you answer no to that question?
Because my daughter kept her.
Were the girls ever in daycare when they were with you?
The only one I tried to get in a preschool was Millie. She stayed for 2 days.
And why did she just stay for 2 days?
I wasn't doing enough work to get the caps. So my daughter kept her while I, doing Uber.
What daycare did she stay for 2 days?
I guess it's North Henry Baptist. It's by Cotton Indian Elementary. It's a church, but it's a school.
When you went there, did you have to do anything for her to be able to attend?
Yes, I had to fill out paperwork.
And did you fill out that paperwork?
Yes, I did.
Did you have to provide anything to North Henry Baptist?
I supposed to be turning the birth certificate and social.
And were you able to provide those things to them?
No, because I was waiting on DFCS to give it to me.
And you said something about no cats. If you can explain to us what that means.
Well, now they can go ahead and give us caps, even if you're not working or not. But back then, you had to be working to receive caps for the kids to be in daycare or preschool.
Did you, during the time that Laila was staying with you, you talked about having to take them to Dr. Potts and to Dr. Laird. Were there any other doctors or appointments that you took them to during the time that they were with you?
The only time I took Laila I had to take her to the Good Care on Hudson Bridge because her and my third oldest daughter had strep throat.
Do you recall when that was?
I think it was in May.
Besides the strep throat, did you ever have any issues with Laila as far as breathing?
No.
Did you ever notice or observe her like gasping for air during the time she was with you?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever notice her like holding her breath for long periods of time when she was with you?
Only when she cried. You know how a baby cries and hold it for a minute. So,
How were the girls when they stayed with you? Let's talk about Millie.
Okay.
How was her behavior? Was she playful? Just tell me how she acted when she was with you.
When she first came, she was just being scared or whatever, and she cried for a minute until my oldest daughter comfort her, and she was fine. It's like after 10 minutes, you wouldn't even think, you would think she'd been there forever because she, bonded with the other kids and everything. So they was happy, always playful and very smart.
How was Millie's appetite?
Hers was she was a little picky eater. There's certain things she liked to eat, and we'll make sure, we figure out what she liked, and then we'll make sure she eats.
And let's talk about Laila. How was she? What was her behavior like?
She's a sweetheart. She when you first got her, she blended in, she just, I'm at home, that's how she felt. And she's always cleaning to you and had you on your toes, running after her, whatever. She laughing and giggling. And if I'm ready to leave out the house or whatever, and she don't ready to go, she gonna drop whatever she doing and try to run out the house behind me. So she loved to eat.
So how was her appetite?
She loved to eat. You could be sitting there eating, she don't eat, but if she sees something she likes, she gonna try to grab it and get it.
Did you ever have any problems with her eating at all?
No. It depends on what kind of food it is she don't like. She won't eat it, but I ain't have no problem.
When you talk about the girls being playful, did they ever play with one another?
Yes.
And during that time when they were playing, did they ever cause any injuries to one another?
No.
Did you ever observe them fighting or anything in your home when they were together? Yeah.
Not those two. No.
Did you ever have an issue with Laila scratching or biting anyone during the time she was in your home that you recall?
It was just another little child about her age. They was playing, both of them were playing, so it wasn't nothing serious enough.
And during the time that the girls were with you, were they in counseling at all, or did counsel come to your home to see them?
No.
During the time that the girls were with you, did they ever get injured? Did they ever have any bumps or bruises or anything like that?
Laila, when I tell you she'll try to run out you, she probably fell twice and scratched her knee, but nothing serious, just a little scratch. Millie was at the park, and she was walking on this log or whatever, and she fell and scraped her arm.
And what did you do when Millie fell and scraped her arm?
I took a picture of it and I tried to call Miss, tell Miss White about it, but she didn't answer. So Miss Warner came to my house that night to bring another child in, and I showed her. I say, been trying to contact Miss White to let her know that Millie hurt her arm at the park. So Miss Warner asked her that night, asked Millie what happened, and Millie told her.
And I will show you what's in Market States number 113, shown to council. Do you recognize States 113?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is it?
That's what she had scraped her arm, and then we applied Neosporin on it.
I'd ask the States Exhibit 113 to be admitted to evidence.
Admitted. Recall. And if you could just use this and show me where that injury is you were just talking about.
Right here.
Did that require her to have to go to the hospital or anything like that?
No.
Did she complain or anything like that after it happened?
No, she didn't cry. And Miss Warner just took pictures of it.
And you said you reached out to Ms. White
Yes.
about that incident. Were you able to reach Ms. White?
No.
And during the time that Millie and Laila were with you, about how many times did you speak with Ms. White?
I spoke to her that one time when she came to the house, and most of the time it was text. Because I was trying to get, like I said, a birth certificate and stuff for them, and I was trying to ask more questions about the kids.
Were you able to ever get those answers that you to the questions that you had about the kids?
No, I got it from a 3-year-old.
And you said you spoke, you would text Ms. White, would she respond back when you would text her?
Sometimes she'll respond back and say, well, I have to get it, I got to get it from the Nana. The Nana haven't gave it to me. They didn't have Laila, she didn't have Laila birth certificate and social. She only had Millie, but she got to figure out where it was. So it's like.
How would you describe your ability to communicate with Ms. White?
I couldn't.
When Laila was with you, was she potty trained at all?
I was potty training her.
At the time, did she wear panties, diapers, or clothes when she was with you? Would that require you to have to change her at all?
Yes. If she, she asked them.
I'm going to show you what's been marked, and I already admitted it states exhibit number 45. Particularly this area here, did you see that when Laila was living in your home at all?
No.
When Laila was staying with you, they didn't go to daycare?
No.
Did they ever have family members or visit with anyone during the time that they were with you?
The only visit they had, well, the nana was visiting with Millie. And then they finally had a visit for Millie's grandmother, Miss Elaine, and her father, Jacob, and I think it was, I don't know if it was Kat, one of them, they had a visit with.
We're talking about Miss Peggy now. When would those visits be and how often did they occur?
Sometimes it was like once a week.
Would they be in your home or somewhere else?
No, I have to meet her.
And where would you normally meet her?
Sometime at Sunny or Sunny or Longtime.
When you said you would be at the sign, how long would Millie stay with Miss Banks?
Oh, about 2 hours.
Would Laila ever go with Miss Banks?
No.
Do you know why Laila didn't go with Miss Banks?
She said she couldn't handle both of them, or she couldn't deal with a baby.
And you indicated that Elaine and Jacob would visit with the girls. How often would they have visits with the girls? Let me back up. When Peggy would visit with Millie, when Millie came back, would you have issues with Millie?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
She told me that she couldn't watch no black people on TV. She told me she couldn't, I don't have to do what you say do, and well, she'll just, just act out. So I called Miss Elaine and her auntie on the phone, and they'll get on the phone with her and calm her down, and then she'll come back and apologize and say, I'm sorry, Miss Brown.
Did you ever bring that issue to Miss Banks' attention, Miss Peggy Banks?
No, I told the caseworker.
And did that behavior continue at all after you told the caseworker?
It happened a couple more times until she had talked to her grandmother and her aunt.
So then moving forward, you said she had some visits with Jacob Place and Millie Place. About how many times did she visit with them or how often?
She had that one visit with Miss Elaine and her dad. And one of her other aunts wanted to, try to, be with her, visit them, because they visit with both of them, not just one. And they wanted to, the other aunt wanted to visit with them, and when I finally talked to Miss White on the phone, and I told her, I said, well, I can't remember which, it was Miss Elaine's daughter, I don't know if it was Kat or the other child, I can't remember their name right now. But when I mentioned that she wanted to do a visit with her, and she told me, there's nobody else going to have no visit with them, and I'm going to stop. Miss Elaine and everybody else will visit. The only person they can visit with is Miss Peggy.
And with that one visit that they did have with Miss Place and Miss Millie Place, where did that visit take place?
They let them go with them. So I met them at Ingalls, and met them at Ingalls, and they took both of the girls with them.
Well, how long did the girls stay there?
An hour.
When the girls came back to you from being with the places, did you examine them?
Yes.
Did you observe any injuries or bumps or bruises on them?
No.
And what about Millie, when she would come back from Miss Banks' house, Miss Peggy Banks' house, would you examine her?
Yes. And I asked questions.
Did you ever observe any injuries, bruises, bumps or scratches on Millie?
No.
Did she, I know you said an auntie was trying to visit with the girls. Did that aunt ever get to have visitation?
No, but Ms. White said she was stopping everybody except the Nana from visiting.
Did you ever meet or have conversations with Jacob Place?
Yes.
And let me ask you, when you get the girls, do you know what a reunification plan is?
Yes.
As a foster parent?
Yes.
And what is that?
That means that, they try to get the parents to go through they step, the necessary step to get their children back in the home. Or they look for other family members that the kids can go to, they'll do a background check and they'll check their home and everything and see if the place is feel suitable for the children.
To your knowledge, was there a reunification plan in place for Millie and Laila?
Not that I know of.
Were any of the family members trying to go through the process that you talked about, to your knowledge, in order to get the girl?
Yes.
Who was that?
I know Elaine and Jacob was.
And how do you know that?
Because she was going, I know Jacob, he was, because we can talk to like the parents or whatever and try to encourage them, to do right or whatever. And I know he had got a place, he had a room and everything. He had sent me pictures of it. And Miss Elaine was trying to go through the parenting class. He even tried to go through the parenting class, but it has really stopped it all.
What about their mother, Tessa Daniel? Did you ever have any contact or communication with Tessa during the time that the girls were with you?
They finally said that the girls can talk to Tessa, and Miss White had said that they can talk to her on the phone. So I was out of town, and I think it was like in May, because my daughter graduated in May. So we went to Arkansas, and I talked to, Tessa called me, and that was the first time she ever heard Laila talk on the phone. So I let her talk to them on the phone and everything.
And outside of that one phone call, were there ever any other visits or conversations between Tessa and the girls?
No.
Did you ever meet Tessa?
I didn't meet Tessa until, I think it was, I was talking on the phone, so it was at Laila's week.
At some point in time, did the Rosenbaum come into play?
Yes.
Tell me how that happened.
When I first met, I don't know what month it was. I'm guessing it was May, sometime in May after. I don't know what time in May. I can't think right now, but I had to meet her because Miss White said that she mentioned Jennifer and Joseph Rosenbaum could probably be a placement for the girls and everything.
Did you know Jennifer or Joseph Rosenbaum prior to that?
No.
After getting that information from Ms. White, what happened?
She set up the visit. I mean, she said it was a day visit. So I had to meet her at a Publix. I met her at Publix.
When you say her, who are you talking about?
Jennifer. Met Jennifer at the Publix with the girls. Laila didn't really want to go, so we had to kind of calm her down to go.
Did you have any conversation with Jennifer Rosenbaum at that time?
Yes, she said that she wanted to get back. She said, first of all, she said her and Chelsea was in foster care together. She said they didn't get along at first, but they became friends. And she found out, I guess she had found out that kids was in care and she wanted to get back. So then she was like, well, I don't think I'm gonna be a good parent, and I had never did this before. And she told me her and her husband they couldn't have kids.
Did she tell you anything else at that time?
She was, I know she had said, because I was telling how good, she was saying how good Ariel was with, with the girls or whatever. She said, she was like, maybe she can come babysit, and I told her, I said, well, just keep my phone number whenever you need me, or is anything wrong, you just call me.
How long was that first visit with the Rosenbaum? Let me ask you, was Joseph Rosenbaum there?
No, it was just her.
How long was that first visit?
I think it was, it was an hour or 2 hours.
And when the girls came back to your home, what did you do?
Well, my daughter, she had asked me the question, how was everything? She'll get ready to get them a bath, so she'll check their body and make sure there were no bruises or nothing on or scratches.
When you met with Ms. Rosenbaum, did you give her any background history about the girls and their biological parents?
No, not at all.
Did you have any information about the girls?
That's why I said most of it I heard from Millie.
And to your knowledge, why were the girls in care?
To my knowledge, it was like the mom, I guess, was incarcerated with some drugs. The daddy was, I know, when Anthony was locked up and everything, and then Jacob was on drugs. So mostly they would tell me that, you know, the parents and stuff was on drugs.
Do you ever get any information about any type of physical abuse by the biological parents?
No.
At this point, who is having visitations with the girls? You said sometime in May. Who else is having visitations with the girls?
Only Nana was having a visit with Millie.
Did anything happen during that first visitation when they were with the Rosenbaums, to your knowledge?
Jennifer called because Laila was crying. She wouldn't stop crying. And so I had, she FaceTimed me and I saw Nicholas in the bathtub. And I was just telling her everything's gonna be all right, you'll be back home. And I told Jennifer to play Surfer Girl, because she loved listening to Surfer Girl. I said, just play that song, and, you know, and she'll calm down. But she calmed down.
Did you ever meet Joseph Rosenbaum at all?
Yes, he had to, when they had another visit, I met him at Subway. I met him with the girls.
And did you talk with him at that time?
We didn't say that much, and I was just, you know, speaking to him and stuff, but we didn't say a lot.
At some point, how long were Laila and Millie in your house?
From April 17th through June 11th.
And after they left your house, do you know where they went?
Yes.
Where did they go?
At first I had to meet at the DFCS office, and the caseworker didn't supposed to give the other foster parents, the caseworker didn't supposed to give the other foster parent the information, where she lived and everything, and she did that. So I was in there talking to the supervisor and the director, trying to figure out, you know, why this was going on. And so she said, asked me what I was doing, and I'm like, well, Jennifer is outside with the kids so she can get their clothes. And she was like, why is she outside? I said, because she's supposed to be meeting the the other foster parent. She said that shouldn't happen. So she asked me would I be able to meet the other foster parent, Miss Lambert, at the Sonic with the kids.
Okay, and did you meet Miss Lambert at the Sonic?
Yes, I did.
When you met Miss Lambert, did y'all talk at all, give her information about the kids, or had any conversation with her at all?
No, we didn't have a lot of conversation about, you know, about what happened and nothing. All I know that I had to take, you know, the kids out of the car, and Laila was holding on me, pulling on me, mama, you know, and so I told her, let me just put her in the car so she can calm down. So I put her in the car and just told her everything will be okay.
After that, did you ever have any more visits or contact with Millie and Laila?
Well, I had a visit, I was calling, Miss Lambert was letting me talk to him on the phone. And when I was talking to him on the phone, you know, asked him how they doing, whatever. I said it for like about a couple days. Then all of a sudden, Miss Lambert said that the caseworker said that you're not the biological mom and you don't have the right to call and talk to the kids anymore.
And so did your conversations and communications with the girls stop?
Yes.
Do you recall when that was?
Probably about June 13th.
After that time, did you have any more communications with any of the relatives of Millie and Laila?
Let's see who. Miss 𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐻.
And how often would you talk with Miss 𝐬𝐬𝐻?
I was talking to her more because I was babysitting her grandson.
When did you become aware that Laila had died?
I was already feeling that something was wrong, so that's why I was trying to fight to get the girls back in my home, because I was told that they could be put back in there. And I think the day before, when they had happened or something, I got a text from their mom, Tessa, saying this is Tessa 911. This is Millie Laila mom. So I'm like, when I got up, I tried to call back, and I didn't get no answer then. Finally, one of the aunts answered the phone, and she said she'd get back to me. So later on in the evening, that aunt, I think it was Kat, she called me back and said, well, I have bad news. And she said, Laila's gone.
During the time that after June the 13th, did you ever talk to or have visits with the girls when they were staying in the Rosenbaum?
No.
After you talked to 𝐿𝐻𝐴𝐲 and found out about Laila's death, what did you do?
It just hurt me. You know?
Did you see the family after Laila's death?
Not that day.
When did you see them?
At the wake.
Who did you speak to when you were there?
I talked to Tessa, Anthony, who else? It was just most of the family. I don't know.
Did you ever speak to Millie after Laila's death?
Millie talked to me. She spoke to me. She didn't tell me anything, but she spoke to me. She mostly talked to my, she's 10 now, my daughter.
Was there ever a time when you spoke to Millie about what happened while she was in the Rosenbaum?
That was May the 24th of 2016? I think I saw her April 1st. Not April 1st, but April 16th, I think it was, whatever that Tuesday was. Her mom said she wanted to see me and my, see me and my girls, and we went over there. She didn't say nothing then, she played and, and everything.
And you said that was in April of 2016?
2016, and then May the 24th is when I told, she wanted to, her mom texted me again and say, Millie wanted to see you all again. So when I came over there, her and my daughters, so they give water balloons, they give her water balloons, whatever. And so she wanted to, I said, I would never let nothing happen to you all. And I said, I'm sorry that, you all had to leave and everything. So when I told her, I said, I would let it happen to you, she laughed, well, Miss Brown, they need me in my belly. She said, we didn't do anything, and they put us in the bed a long period of time and woke us with bellies.
When she said they, who was she talking about?
She was talking about Jennifer and Joseph Rosenbaum.
And you said you went to their house. Who were they staying with at that time?
They had somebody that, I don't know who they were staying with, but they was, the transporter was bringing them to see Anthony and Tess.
And when Millie told you about being beaten in the stomach and being beat with belts, who else was there with you?
It was Anthony, it was Tessa, and her, and one of my daughters.
Did you ask her any questions after that?
No, she was just talking. When she was telling me that, I was through already. I started talking about her clothes and stuff her mama bought in her bedroom, my gown and stuff.
Nothing further this time.
Okay. Can we bring the lights back up?
Oh, yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Karen Moore. I have questions for you. If you don't understand if I'm not talking loud enough, you just let me know.
Okay.
Okay? You talked about the girls not being with their mother. Correct? They did not visit with their mother when they were with you.
No.
And when you went and visited them after the death of Laila, you went because Millie wanted you to come.
Not at the wake. This was like a year later. No, it was a year later.
A year later?
Yes.
So and Tessa called you, right?
She messaged me.
She messaged you and said she'd like you to come because Millie wants you to come.
Yes.
And that happened on 2 occasions.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
And on those 2 occasions, you heard Millie say something to you, right?
Yes.
And did you write that down anywhere?
No, I didn't have nothing to write down.
Did you report it to DFCS?
No, because I wouldn't with defense anymore.
Now, isn't it true, Ms. Brown, that in fact, Millie accused you of keeping her in bed for a long time?
DFCS accused me of keeping her in there.
Okay. And DFCS told you that Millie had said that, right?
Yes, they did.
Okay. And so, Millie had apparently said you had put her in bed for long periods of time. That wasn't true, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. It was a lie, in fact.
Yes. But Millie didn't say that. It came from DFCS.
You don't know whether she said it or not.
Right, they just put it in there and came to me with it.
The DFCS came to you and said, Millie said this.
No, she didn't say Millie. She said the girls.
The girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, only one girl was talking at the time, right?
They ain't how they had. They said girls.
But there was only one girl talking at the time, right?
Well, I don't know, I hadn't talked to Laila in a long time, so I didn't know if she was talking or not.
When you had them, Laila was not talking, right?
Well, she was saying some words, so it's not like she was mute.
But she wasn't holding conversations with you.
Sometimes she was.
She was, okay. How old was she when she was holding these conversations?
She was a year old.
A year old?
Mm-hmm.
What did y'all talk about?
She talked about, I mean, it's mostly like, you know, she can be talking about what's on TV, or, you know, or she'll try to tell me about one of the other kids or something like that, or what she want to eat. So we were teaching her sign language and everything, teaching her to tell her what she wants and stuff too. So she was learning.
She was learning with you.
Yes.
But it's fair to say that 1 year old, they're not having conversations, they're just asking words.
It's not a whole conversation, but she was talking.
Now, you had the children dropped off at your house by DFCS with just the clothes they had on, right?
I picked them up from DFCS.
Yes, you got them from DFCS.
Yes.
They didn't give you any documentation.
Not yet. They did have some, I think the Nana has sent some little crates with some little clothes in, so they did have some things in a little crate.
Okay. Now, you had them from April 27th through June 11th.
April 7th, what was it, April 17th?
April 17th through June 11th.
Yes.
So you had them about a month, 2 months,
Yeah.
right? Is that correct?
Yes, that should be correct.
And how many children were in your home at this point in time?
Being children, they've been, talk about younger children, or they like to.
I'm talking about all the children in the house. How many children were in the house?
So
people that were beneath the age of 18.
Beneath the age of 18. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4.
And how many foster kids were there?
2.
And there were 2 foster kids?
Yes, there was 2 foster kids when they came in. And then the next month, they called me with another foster child.
So you had 4 of your own plus 2, right?
Well, let me say the 4, but you said under 18, so it would have been just my 2 youngest ones.
Okay.
And my 2 youngest ones, Millie and Laila. And then they called me that May with another 11-year-old.
So at one time, you had at least 4 foster kids at one time?
3.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you never had more than 3 at a time?
When the caseworker brought them out there for a respite or something, you know, I did.
Oh, so you had children come in for respite?
Yes,
So
for like a night or 2 nights or whatever.
what's the most number of children you had when Millie and Laila were at your house?
With my 2, and then them that stayed with me for a minute, it was just 5 of them. But the one that the caseworker or the supervisor brought for that night, they'll be gone next day.
And how many of those are
It depends, because you know they're not there every night. So I probably had about 6 kids in a home or whatever.
there? Okay. That would be the most you have is 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now, isn't it true, Ms. Brown, that during those 3 weeks, you learned 3 or 4 weeks that you had the children, more like a week and a half you had the children, you learned more about them through them, right?
Through Millie.
Yes. And during those 3 weeks, you noticed that Laila would hold her breath when she cries.
She didn't do it all the time. It's just when she really upset. I think she did it probably about twice. She just, because I have a grandbaby do the same thing right now. Just cry a lot and hold it for me and that's it.
Did she hold her breath while she cried?
She didn't do it all the time. So twice.
She did it though.
She did it twice.
Thank you. And she would stretch and bite, you said, when she did not know people, right?
No, it's not like that. It's like, only time she did, she stretched or bite somebody when she with another child her age, whatever. They just, sometimes, you know how little kids don't get along and they just tussle with each other. That's
They're
it.
just tussling.
Yes.
Okay. Millie would also tussle with the kids, right?
No.
No, Millie would not tussle.
No.
So just Laila.
No, it ain't just like it's just 2 babies playing. That's it.
Now, do you remember talking to Ann Tanner, my investigator?
I don't know who called me. I just, people called me and so I just speak with the people that I had already talked to, so I don't know her from nobody.
You don't remember talking to her?
I don't remember.
Now, Ms. Banks did not take Laila, right?
No.
But she took Millie.
Yes.
And when Millie came back to her house, she didn't want to watch TV with black people in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't want to mind you, did she?
No.
And she told you that Ms. Banks told her she didn't have to mind you.
Right.
Now, what about Ms. Banks? Did she buy things for Millie?
Yes.
Did she buy things for Laila?
No.
What kind of things did she buy for Millie?
Probably like a little doll and some other toys. I can't remember what all was.
Now, the entire time the girls were with you, for the entire time they were with you, when Mr. and Mrs. Rosenbaum took the kids, they came back without any bruises or broken bones, correct?
No, we didn't see any.
Huh?
No, we didn't see any.
You didn't see it?
No.
No bruises or broken bones?
No.
Okay. Now, no cuts, no abrasions?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Now, isn't it true that you and Jennifer would FaceTime after she had the kids?
No, I didn't FaceTime.
You didn't FaceTime with her?
No, only FaceTime when she had the kids at the house. When I was doing the visit, when she was doing the visit.
But she had the kids and you weren't there, so she FaceTimed you.
Only that one time when she visited, we had to visit with the kids.
Now, when you went to DFCS the first time, you talked to DFCS, you spoke to Ms. Hicks-King. Do you remember telling her that Ms. Banks did not want Laila, just Millie?
I don't remember Ms. King.
You don't remember Ms. King?
No.
Okay.
And you said when I went to
Do you
DFCS.
remember, I'm sorry?
You said when I went to DFCS, but I don't know Ms. King.
Okay. When, do you remember telling a DFCS worker that Peggy Banks did not like Laila?
No, I didn't say that.
You didn't say that?
No. I said she didn't want to keep her because she said she couldn't take care of both of them.
Mm-hmm. But she called Laila a drug baby, didn't she?
When we was at the courthouse, when she first saw them, she said she was on, her mom was on drugs with her, so she, probably have drugs in the system and all that.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
You also, on one occasion, sang to Millie, to Laila on the phone, didn't you? You
Yes.
sang with her.
Yes. Well, we didn't sing, so I think we played that Surfer Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't sing?
Oh, my daughter singing.
Okay. And so, this was when Jennifer called you because Laila was crying a lot.
Yes.
And that happened to you as well. She would cry a lot.
Cry with me?
Never cried with you.
She babies cry. She don't cry no lot. She cried because she wanted to get something or she couldn't go with me or something like that, but she ain't cry with her. She wasn't a crybaby.
But when she cried, Miss Jennifer called you and you put the music on for her, and that calmed her down.
I think my daughter had played with me before. I just can't remember. It's been a minute.
Isn't it true that she did, in fact, at your house the first day, cry uncontrollably?
Who?
Laila.
No, it wasn't Laila crying.
Okay. And Millie, you say, was crying.
Millie was crying.
And she said she wasn't used to living with black people.
Yes. And my daughter comforted her, and like I said, within 10 minutes, she was. It was like she didn't cry at all. So.
Mm-hmm. Because you all were very loving and kind.
That's right.
Now, let me show you. Now, we talked about Millie accusing you of putting her in bed for long periods of time, and we established that that was not true, correct?
That's not true. They've been with the state too. They I don't know what the word is, but they threw that out.
Okay. But you also have been accused of whipping a child at Six Flags, haven't you?
Objection on the relevance.
It is relevance goes to credibility.
As to this case, how is it relevant to another child?
Sustained objection.
Because it was a false accusation, so it was a false accusation was made.
Sustained objection is sustained.
show you what's been marked as Exhibit 73 and 76 and ask you if you recognize these papers. Yes. They're the ones I already struck. Take a look, if you would, at pictures, those pictures, and see if you can identify them.
I don't know about this picture on the right, but this is Laila and my daughter.
Well, your daughter, the other one you don't recognize. Do you recognize the people in it?
I recognize the people in it,
Who
but
is it? Who is it?
that's Millie and Laila. But I ain't had no curtains and stuff like this, so that's not my house.
It's not your house,
No.
but it's really in the.
Yeah, this is my daughter and Laila.
Oh.
I don't have curtains.
This time around, attendant number 73 is corrected and asked to publish it.
Any objection?
No, he said no.
Admitted.
Is that your daughter on the right?
Yes.
Is that Laila on the left?
Yes.
Do you know about when that picture was taken?
No, I couldn't tell you. We take so many pictures.
Thank you. Let me show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 77 and Defendant's Exhibit 75. Ask you to identify those pictures if you can.
This is Laila in this picture, and this is Laila. And Laila like putting on bandages, so it wasn't nothing wrong with her knee. She just wanted bandage put on.
She just liked to put on bandages.
Yes.
At this time, I would tender to evidence page 7, Exhibit 75 and 77.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted. Last one is set.
This is a picture of Laila as you remember her.
Yes.
It was taken near your house,
That was taken in my yard.
in your yard. Let me show you this picture. Who is that a picture of?
That's Laila.
Okay. And who's beside her, do you know?
Just another child. I was in the room cleaning up, so both of them fell asleep right there in bed.
Thank you. But you say she liked to put on bandages.
Yes. And you might would
Anywhere she
you would sew on her forehead, sew on her arm, but you take it off, there's no cut, no bruise or nothing. So one day,
put them around her as well.
yes. We bought the one with the cartoon on it, because she liked putting them on.
Yes. And I'm going to show you, do you recall, let me show you first, defendants 78, 79, I'll show you pictures 78 and 79. Tell me what those are pictures of.
This is a picture, I guess my daughter, my friend's daughter took, and she was in there, I don't know what she probably doing, they took the picture. And that's what she had scratched her knee at when she was running outside. This one right here, she was sitting in a high chair, and that's not a scratch on her arm, that's food, but she had just got to eat or whatever, but she was in a high chair.
This time, Your Honor, I would tender into evidence 78 through 79.
Any objection?
No objection.
Admitted.
Your pleasure.
Good published.
Was this picture taken in your house?
Yeah, she was in the house.
Okay. And how old was Laila at that time?
She was 1. And the picture wasn't taken February the 8th. It was just,
Posted February.
Yes.
Right?
and my friend's daughter, she took a lot of pictures of her too, so.
Now, what, is she sitting on the potty here?
No, it's a high chair.
Just a high chair?
Yes.
And,
She had just got to eating and stuff, so they took the little tray off because it needed to be clean, because she had food everywhere.
and, she's holding the belt to the chair, is that right?
I don't know what that is. I really don't know what that is.
But she's naked.
Yes, she is.
Do you recall the date of June 3rd? Do you remember June 3rd of 2015?
No.
Was that the date when Rosenbaum came to visit for the first time?
I don't remember what date they visit. Well, they didn't come to my house to visit. I met her
You met her, where did you meet her?
at a Publix on East Elana Road.
And Let me show you what I marked as Exhibit 71. Can you identify that picture?
No, it's not my picture.
I'm not saying it's your picture, I'm saying, can you identify it? Is that Millie in the back or Laila in the back?
That's Millie in the back.
Okay. And who's in the front?
I don't know. I don't know who picture this is, and I've never seen the picture before.
You've never seen this person before?
No.
It's in the picture?
No.
Okay. At this time, Your Honor, I'd like to tender the defendant's Exhibit 71 in is a picture of Millie in the car.
No objection.
I'd ask to publish it. Okay. Now, Millie, can you show us where Millie is in that picture? Can you point to the other person? I know. I'm asking you, can you point to them though? You don't know that person. You've never seen that person.
I don't know the person.
Have you seen that person at any time? Okay. Do you remember the time that Tessa put Millie on the phone to talk to you? Do you remember there was an occasion when Tessa put her on the phone?
No.
You don't recall such a time?
No.
Okay. What are the questions?
Okay. Can you read it? All right.
You said, I think one of those pictures, in defense number 79, you said Laila had just finished eating.
Yes.
How, when she would eat, what kind of eater was she?
She can eat.
And you talked about the tray. How would the tray look after she's eating?
You know, some, you know how, if you have some pudding or something, they probably have smeared some pudding or something on there or whatever. But she gonna eat all the food off the tray.
Would you have to clean that tray after she's eating?
Yeah, you have to clean off the, you know, she can, you know, make some milk or some juice or, like I said, the pudding or something, you have to clean the tray up. But the plate, her food be gone.
Her food would be gone?
Yes.
And the tray, how would you describe the tray as being after she finishes eating?
Empty. Sometimes she want more, like
Not a plate, the tray.
the tray. But you know, like I said, it's not, you know how baby is. They probably, if you got some pudding or something, they probably put some on the plan in there or something like that. She didn't do that often.
And you said something about spilling juice.
Yeah, she probably knock, you know how you probably knock the juice over or whatever, in the cup.
After she would eat, would you have to clean off her tray?
Yeah, you clean up. Not the plate, it's
Not
just
the
the
plate,
tray.
the tray.
Yes,
Yes,
the tray.
the tray. And you indicated that she would put, I think, defense number 77. And you said that she would like to put bandages.
But I'm thinking that bandage probably was the one where she scratched her knee, but she do like getting the bandage, because my daughter had specifically bought some, since she like to put them on, she bought some with the little carrots on it. Sometimes she'll get it, and she'll ask her to put one on, and it don't be nothing there. But I think this particular time, that's the one where she scratched her knee.
But she liked to put on bandages.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Knoll asked you about, Millie stated that you had made her go to bed, or put her in the bed for a long time.
This is what DFCS told me when I went in July. It was like July, and they said that when they talked to the girls, they said I put them in bed a long period of time. I said, we never put them in bed a long period of time. They always ate. I don't care if they sleep, we gonna wake them up and make sure they eat. So they never was put. I said, why would, I said, do you think she's trying to tell you something? Because we never put them in bed that long without eating.
Did they tell you that Millie said that you had meat in the stomach?
Oh no, Millie told me that.
Did DFCS, did they come to you and say, Millie told them that you need her in her stomach?
No, they never told me that.
Did they come and tell you that Millie said that you whipped her with the belt?
No, she never told me that either.
You said that Millie told you that she had been needing in the stomach.
Yes.
By who?
By Joseph Rosenbaum and Jennifer Rosenbaum.
What about Laila? Did she tell you what would happen to Laila?
She really didn't just tell me, she just said us. She didn't say just Laila, she just said us.
So when she talked about being beaten with the belt, she said we were beaten with the belt.
Yeah, she said we didn't do anything. Yeah, she said we didn't do anything. They beat us with the belt. They whipped us on the belt, and they need us in our belly and put us in bed a long period of time without eating.
And the mother was standing there when they said that.
The mother and the father of Laila and the mother.
And you were called there to come,
Because,
right?
yes, Millie wanted to talk to me.
Okay, that's what Tessa said to you.
Yes, she said Millie wanted to talk to me.
And you're a member of Justice for Laila, aren't you?
No.
You don't go on that website?
I went on there like the first time it came, but I don't even be on Facebook. I don't be on Facebook.
So it's your testimony that, and I just want to be very clear here, because you're on the code. This is the first, that you've only been on one time, correct?
I've been on one time, and I think you had posted something on there. Somebody posted some stuff on there about me up in there. Somebody had told me about it. I don't know who told me, and I went in there, read some stuff about me, like about Mr. Brown. I'm like, who is Mr. Brown? Because I'm not married. And there was more stuff on that page. And I don't think it was on that one. It was on the Justice for Jennifer or something, but it wasn't on that one. That's why I looked at it. But you know, I stopped even looking at it because I'm busy taking care of my family and other kids that I have to take care of.
Were you on the Justice for Laila site more than once?
No.
Just once?
Just once.
Okay. And you are not a member of Justice for...
My name is probably still there, but I don't go there. So I hadn't been on there.
So you're listed as a member of Justice?
I really don't know.
So it's possible?
It could be possible, but I haven't been on there.
Now, who did you tell besides these folks that Millie said she was kneed in the stomach, and that when Millie said it to you, she said, we were kneed in the stomach?
I didn't tell nobody. The only person that was in there is her mom and her dad and my daughter that was standing right there when she said it.
And this would have been after the death of Laila?
Yes, that was a year after.
And you never called the police and told them that, did you?
No.
You never called DFCS and told them that, did you?
No, I didn't talk to nobody defense.
You didn't talk to anybody about that?
Like I said, I was just right in there with her parents when she said it.
So the only people you talked to it about it was her parents, because they were there?
And the detective.
You did tell the detective?
Yeah, because when they had me to come in, after she died, because I think I was just leaving her funeral, and I had to go down into the, whatever the police station, and I had to tell my statements.
So you gave them a statement the day of the funeral?
Yes.
You gave them a statement the day of the funeral, and on that statement, you told them that...
No, I told them that afterwards. Because the day of the funeral, they just come to ask me a question about, about if she had any birthmarks or anything. That's what they were asking about. But
even if you think you know what the question's going to be, let her finish.
okay.
The day of the funeral, did you give a written statement to the police?
To the detectives. I think it was the
The
detectives.
detectives work for the police, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you gave a statement to the police.
Yes.
In that statement on the day of the funeral, did you say anything about being kneed?
No.
Yes or no? And then you
No.
explain. Okay. Afterwards, a year after the death of the child, did you give another written statement?
It wasn't a written statement. The guy was
So that's
talking.
no.
Guy was talking. You know what? I'm going to take it back. I did go back up in there, and I told him.
Okay, so you went up and gave another written statement.
Yes.
Do you know the date of that written statement?
No.
So total, how many statements have you given?
Probably 2. And they had me to, well, I think it was 2.
Now, show you this photograph, which is Defendant's Exhibit 78. And on what leg are the scratches?
I don't know if it's up there. I don't know. I don't know this. That's probably on the right.
On the right.
Yeah. Because I didn't take that picture. That's not my picture.
But you can see that picture, can't you?
I don't really see nothing on her.
You don't see any scratches on her right knee.
Could have been a scratch where she fell. I told you it fell, yes.
So that's where she fell and hurt herself.
Right.
Okay. Now, her bandage, what knee is that on?
That's on the left. That's why I say she probably she like put bandages on.
And you told me, didn't you, when I asked you it was because she had hurt herself on her leg.
She just fell and scratched her knee.
No.
No open wounds or nothing.
Now, you only talked about 2 visits with the Rosenbaums. The Rosenbaums visited on June 3rd, June 4th, June 11th, June 7th, and June 11th, correct?
It's a possibility.
So you were mistaken before.
I couldn't remember all the dates. I didn't just say 2.
Now, isn't it true that Miss Lambert never let you talk to the children?
She let me talk to them after they left. I mean, you know, and everything. I talked to them on the phone, and then the caseworker, she said that the caseworker said I couldn't talk to them anymore because I'm not about to smoke. So they stopped me being able to talk to the children.
And you're saying that you were able to talk to them once?
I think it was twice. I was able to talk to them twice.
And Miss Lambert would know about that?
Yeah, she called.
She called you?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
She called me, or I had called. I think the second time I called them.
I have nothing for you.
Nothing about the conversation. She needs to be mistaken.